Welcome back to Better Living. I'm joined now by Teresa from the Ohio Department of Transportation. She's a regular guest here, and we talk about all the different things that are going on in our roadways. And obviously something that people are talking about right now is the way people have been driving in this weather. You sent me a video that showed somebody weaving in and out of salt trucks. Who thinks that's a good idea?
Yeah, we have what's called tandem plowing, and especially in our I-75 work zone, you can't pass between these plows. Our plow blades are 12 feet, sometimes 11 feet, and that's how wide our lanes are. So we will often plow one plow in front of the other. Well, in this video, which is pretty exciting to see, you see drivers trying to weave in and out of our plows, which is what we say, don't be that driver. Because if you're making decisions like that, it is very dangerous for yourself, and a small vehicle versus a large plow usually does not go well.
You're not going to end up on the good end of that one.
Yeah, everybody gets in such a hurry. Everybody, you're thinking of so many things while you're driving, let alone the ones who are on their cell phones, the ones who are, changing the radio stations, especially in those work zones. Just slow down and be careful of those plows. And we've had very interesting weather, I think, with the last storm this past Saturday.
Yes.
The forecast wasn't for a lot of snow, so I think a lot of people were like, oh, I can just drive very easily. I can get to wherever I have to go, and it'll be very safe. Well, you got there. We had our crews out all night long, and you hit those snowbursts, and the conditions became very dangerous. So in those situations, in any type of weather, you've got to be prepared for whatever comes your way.
I told you during the break that I would tell you about a couple incidents I've had lately, and one being, I want to bring up the person driving between the snowplows. You put everybody else in danger, too. So last night, I came up on an accident, and it was, again, a quick snowburst. It had only been snowing for probably 2 minutes, and I think it ended 2 minutes after that. I mean, it wasn't like it was big, but enough was on the ground, big fat snowflakes, enough was on the ground that it was slick. And I came over a hill on the interstate, and everybody stopped. And so I'm trying to stop, the person next to me is trying to stop, and I'm telling you, we're all over the place. And I thought for sure that was going to be it. I mean, I was hitting somebody, and then I even said to my kids in the back seat, okay, I'm stopped now, we're going to get hit. It's not going to hurt you, but just be prepared. Because I thought for sure somebody behind me is going to end up tapping into me. And it was a case of, I don't know if the person was driving safely or not. It had just happened. I didn't see it happen. But there were emergency vehicles out. And I'm telling you, I obsessed about it all night last night. If someone had not been able to get stopped, they were walking. It was a couple guys from a road crew were walking, and then, of course, the emergency personnel, too. That could have been deadly for one of those people who are not in a car.
Right. Best thing to do in that type of scenario, stay in your vehicle. Let the emergency workers, they wear those very high visibility vests, and that's for a reason, to try to stay as safe as possible. In fact, there was a fatality not too long ago with people just not paying attention. So if you're in those situations, it is always best just to stay inside of your vehicle.
And to assume that the road is slick. I was... Actually, years ago, I had a little accident on that same strip of the interstate. So I'm cautious all the time on that because it's a lot of overpasses. I know they freeze. But, I think it's safe to always assume that it's slick. I also was out on Saturday, and it was more than anything in that blowing that was, you could not see, I couldn't see in front of my car. I stopped on a state highway. And I just sat in my car and hoped that nobody came up quickly either way and, was going to hit me.
You could not see vehicles behind you, in front of you, so it was a very dangerous situation. And in those cases, you really just have to be aware, and in any case scenario, you should probably, when those conditions happen, just do what you did. Just kind of, drive as slow as you can, or even if you have to, just come to a complete stop until those whiteout conditions improve. So hopefully,
we're almost done.
We're almost done. Let's really hope so, because we're getting to the point where, okay, we've been driving in this weather, but just don't take it for granted. Just keep your driving skills always in tune, and just pay attention to that one thing you have to do, and that's drive.
That's absolutely right, because it can be absolutely deadly quickly. So, like we said, hopefully the cold weather is almost over. Hopefully we're done with this very soon. If we're not, it's John James's fault. That's always my theory. But it is about to end, hopefully, and that means construction kickoff for us here on the roadways.
Yeah, I don't think there's two seasons at ODOT. We have, of course, the winter weather, which we're in right now, and then construction. And just so that everybody knows, once the weather breaks, once it does break, construction projects are going to pop up like that.
Yes.
It's going to happen very quick, and we have even more work than what we do have on the roadway, specifically on I-75 in the downtown Toledo area, all the way from 280 down to 475. That project is going to get away rather quickly, and you're going to be hearing more about that in the next coming weeks here as, like I said, once this weather breaks, construction season is on.
Any idea, I mean, do you guys, I know that you don't really know, but do you have any idea when that might tentatively, I mean, are you hoping for late March? Are you hoping for mid-April? What's the plan?
Obviously, we try to, you can only plan for so much, but it's really up to Mother Nature to decide that.
Sure.
So we're looking at pretty much a target for mid-March, but if the weather happens to turn around, which we'd all be thankful for,
no
and us
complaints.
Especially, because then we can get started on some of these much needed projects, because as many of you have noticed, we've got a lot of potholes out there.
Yes.
And the permanent fix is these major construction projects. So we need to get going on these projects, obviously, because our roads are in need of a lot of repair. So the sooner we can get going, the better it's going to be. But watch out for those highway workers, because we've got a lot of highway potholes to fill. In fact, we're on I-75 today. We'll probably be out there once again tomorrow. Anytime we get a break in the weather, even though it's only 15 degrees,
you can do it, and you will.
We have to do it.
Absolutely.
We don't have any other choice, so that's what we're going to be out there doing. So just keep that in mind too. If it's not ice and snow, it's going to be potholes and then construction.
Slow down. That's always
advice.
the best advice. We'll be right back on Better Living.